Shalom. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation you all can teach all truth and sincerity. This video is going to be called "What is Adultery?" And adultery is when a woman, deals with a man that's not her man, and when a man sleeps with a woman that has a man. Because that's basically a basic definition of adultery. Because a woman is not supposed to, deal with any man besides her man, and a man is not supposed to deal with any woman that has a man. Because basically a man can have, multiple wives, but the women that he deals with, they have to be single and have no man at all, and then that wouldn't be considered adultery, because, men having multiple wives is not adultery. But if a man deals with a woman that has a man, that's considered adultery, because, the Most High Yahweh doesn't want us, doing that, abominable thing where we're, dealing with women that have men, and that's like you getting a used car instead of getting a brand new car, and a lot of people don't like to buy a used car. You only buy a used car, basically, because that's all you can afford. You can't afford a new car, so you buy a used car. Nobody really wants to deal with a woman that has a man, and these, 2/3 of Israel, they glorify adultery, which is totally wicked. And but basically, that's what adultery is, So, and it says in scripture not to, not to sit at all with another man's wife, yeah. So this is second Sirach, chapter 9, verse 9, which is Ecclesiasticus chapter 9, verse 9 says, "Sit not all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms," because we're not even supposed to be friends with a woman that has a man, because basically it explains in the scripture, when you sit down with a woman that has a man, you become infatuated with her presence. You get familiar with her. You start feeling things, and not just you, but also her. And then it gets in both your minds to find a way to come together and sneak around and end up in the bed together. And then now y'all committed basically an adulterous act, which is punishable by death. Because it says in scripture, adultery is punishable. That's a death, sin, punishable by death. I'm gonna continue reading verse 9. It says, "Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thy arms, and spend not money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so thy desires shall fall into destruction." Because you committing an adulterous act with a woman that has a man, that can make you miss your chariot ride, and you can get destroyed because of that. And you sit around with these women that got men, you get all, liquored up and stuff. And liquor leads to, having sex with somebody, So I'm going to go to Leviticus 20 and 10. Salakia. This is Leviticus 20 and verse 10. It says, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." And I understand that this is in the law. This is in the law that the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So if you commit adultery with another man's wife, um, the punishment is death. 'Cause that's a that you can get killed for committing adultery. Um, I know where Yahweh Shem Yahshai has mercy and grace on us, but that committing adultery is it says it's a death. That's a death. You know, you can be destroyed for doing that. And that's a basically a heavy demon amongst our people, being the adultery demon. And I was gonna say, King David, when he committed adultery, um, he repented and received mercy. Because he could have been put to death for doing that. And we're considered the house of David. We want to receive the sure mercies of David. You know, all those things that were written before time were written for our learning. Um, and if you read the story of David, you know, the Most High took his son, uh, took his son from from that adulterous act that happened. Um, but to understand, like, adultery is something that we understand that it's something that if you do commit it, you don't really have any understanding. Um, so I'm gonna get the first one I mentioned, the Romans 15:4, because this is Romans 15:4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." Um, and King David, he basically fasted and prayed to Yahweh Shem Shai, and received mercy for his act that he for his transgressions and his adulterous act that he did, with I believe it was Uriah's wife, Bathsheba. He committed adultery with Bathsheba, and he received mercy from that. Um, and I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 4:22. It's Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people is foolish; they have not known me. They are childish children." And the Most High right here is telling our people they're foolish. Childish means stupid. So they're stupid children. Because our people glorify adultery, which is stupid. I can give you an example. My dad, he will sometimes come to me and we'll be in the living room, and it's gonna be quick. He be mentioning like adulterous things to me, and I look at him and I don't do outbursts or anything. I just look at him and shake my head like I be shaking my head like because to give you a quick example is my mom and dad. You know, my mom had a man when she met my dad. My mom had a boyfriend when she was 16 when she met my dad, and then um, she broke up with that guy because she was dating my that guy and my dad at one point, and then they ended up breaking up, and then my dad and her continued to date. But at first she had a boyfriend, and my dad, old saying, he's kind of old school. He would say, if she ain't got no ring, she's single still. You ain't put no ring on her, she's still single. And that's an adulterous, saying to say. It's a wicked saying to say, because if a woman, you know, even if she's talking to a man, even if she's so-called betrothed to him, like she's engaged, and she don't even have to have a ring. If she says that she's, talking to a dude, or she's been, you know, back and forth with a guy for months, and if she tells you anything like that, then you need to, you, any man who hears that should leave her alone. It shouldn't even bother her. He should even go after her, cause she got a man. Like, like now I don't care if if she's beautiful. I don't care if she's a dime piece. Leave her alone. You're gonna be committing adultery if you go after her, cause you're not supposed to deal with a woman that's dealing with any man. She could be talking. She could be FaceTiming. She could be doing whatever. You're not supposed to deal with her. You're supposed to stay away from her until she cuts her ties with that man. Not go back and forth with her and continue a relationship, and then But anyway, uh, I'm going to Proverbs because you know I'm explaining something, but my dad, my parents, they lack understanding. Because if my dad had really understood this truth and understood that that was wicked, that was a wicked way of doing things when you wanted to deal with a woman, um, he would know that that was wicked, and But since he has no understanding in this truth and has no full knowledge of what he's saying to me or what he's talking about is wicked, then I gotta respect um I gotta respect him in a certain way and not do outbursts and just shake my head because you know he doesn't understand that's wicked. But anyway, this is Proverbs 6:32. It says, "But whosoever committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, and he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul." So if you commit adultery with a woman that got a man, you lack understanding. You know. So basically, this is it. I'm gonna say all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Karkadosh, double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and citations to I can teach all truth, sincerity, and shalom.